सम्यक् समाधिनिरतैर्विमलान्तरङ्गे साक्षादवेक्ष्य निजतत्त्वमपारसौख्यम् सन्तुष्यते परमहंसकुलैरजस्रम् यद्ब्रह्मतत्त्वमसि केवलबोधमात्रम्।
अन्तर्यस्य बहिर्विदूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमताम् अज्ञानमुन्मूलयन् पश्यन् विश्वम् अपीतमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम्। अमलरजतदेहं भाति चिज्योतिरेकं हृदयकुहरमध्ये निष्कलं देवरूपं निकटपथिविचारैः वृत्तिभिः सादरेण सभयम् अभिवरेण्यं तेजसा दीप्यमानं करणतनुधियां यः प्रेरकस्वेन भासाम् कबलितजगदण्डः पिण्डमध्ये शयानः सकलहृदयवासः शाश्वतो ब्रह्मरूपः वितरतु परिशुद्धिं चेतसो नः शिवाख्यः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांशहस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। प्राणानायं योमिति चित्तं हृदि रुद्ध्वां नान्यत् स्मृत्वा तत्पुनरत्रैव विलाप्य क्षीणे चित्ते बहादृशिरस्मीति विदुर्यं तं संसारध्वान्तविनाशं हरिं ईडे। As the part of our Chaturmasya Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna, every day we have been meditating on life and work of Sankaracharya, based on the book Atmatirtham. Sankaracharya's life, many have written. The traditional biographies vary in various aspects. So Brihat Shankara Vijayam, Vyasachaliya Shankara Vijayam, and Shankara Vijayam of Vidyaranya Swami. And so many books are there. And so many stories are also there. So, the essential life of one of the greatest Acharya is shrouded in, actually in mystery. So, in this Atma Tirtham, we have taken the essential story part and it's a research for a very long period. And also the teaching from the Upanishads, Upanishad Bhashya, Prakarana Grantha, Stotrani, all the importance is given to the teaching of Bhagavad Pada. So no other work is thus based on completely on teaching. In fact, it gives the essence, all the stotras, Prakarana Granthas, Bhashya, everything essence. And this book had so much of reception that it has been translated into so many languages. So from that book only we have been reading and speaking on Bhagavad Pada's life. This is also a prakriya by which, a process by which we can take our mind to that state where we are clean, absolutely free of all bondage, which the Shastras call by moksha or nirvana. And all the Shastras are only seeking that, Shoka Nivritti, Atyantika Shoka Nivritti, absolute freedom from sorrow. And for that, the Upanishads declare the only way is knowledge of the self. Tarati Shokam Atmavid. Those who know the Atman, the self, they go beyond all sorrow. Or in another way you can say the sorrow, suffering will be there around, miseries will be there, but the person is not at all affected by that, by the knowledge of the self. So to attain that Atma Jnanam, the mind must be turned inward and made to, trained to meditate on the self. Pranan ayamya om iti chittam hriti ruddhva. Very beautiful verse here. As a beginning, one can put the prana in order. Pranayama. Train the mind. If the mind is not cooperating, you can take help from pranayama. But you do not stay there. Take it to japa, ashraya, alamba. Alamba is pranava japa. Om iti chittam hridi ruddhva. Thus withdraw the mind, pull the mind inward and make it abide in the heart. Na anyat smritva. Do not think about anything else. And what should I do? Tat punaha atraiva vilapya. Make the mind dissolve in the heart. Every day in deep sleep the mind is dissolving in the heart, but unconscious. The person is not conscious. Now consciously, wakefully, with a complete alertness, vigilance, the mind is pulled into the heart center and is dissolved there. The I thought itself is dissolved. That is what Bhagavan says. Find out What is this I? Trace the I thought to its source, because the I thought itself is the mind. When you seek the I merges in the heart, and something profound, something deeply fulfilling, shining forth there as your very nature. And that is the self, the Atma, the Swarupa. So, Kshine Chitte, when the mind is quiet, when the mind is not scattered, when there is no sleep element there, when there is no thoughts there, when there is no wailing of ignorance there, when there is no dullness, when there is no urge to do something, urge to know something, urge to become something, when there is no fear, when there is no dualistic movements, then you experience the effulgence of the seer, Bhadrishi. And that seer, that Sakshi, that witness, that pure awareness is my real nature, that is me. And by that knowledge, this Dvanta, this darkness of ignorance disappears. And that is done by Guru, by Bhagavan, whom here Acharya speaks as Hari. Tam samsara Dvanta vinasham Harimeede. Now we enter the story part. Yesterday we saw, where did we what were we discussing yesterday? Avade? There? What? It's not over. Then? Somewhere we were staying. Ardhakshatra is over. And there the discussion was going on. It is not Sharadhakshetra. It is somewhere else actually. They are staying in a lonely spot and there was discussion happening. So after this they moved away from that spot. After this great festival, Acharya proceeded to Kashmir. They crossed a very high mountain peak and entered the land. Although Sharadhakshetra was under the rule of Kashmir, the capital was situated beyond the mountains. The rare and exquisite beauty of the land was indeed captivating. Vast, expansive plains were surrounded on all sides by tall, snow-clad mountain ranges. Waves in the vast lakes gleamed like blue sapphire, and large ponds were beautified by water lilies and lotuses with bees buzzing softly around them. Vast areas of soft, fertile lands and fast-flowing rivers could also be seen. Waterfalls and springs were everywhere. Cities nearby were surrounded by gardens. The people, the flora and fauna of the land all had a unique charm and splendor. The beauty of this place was incomparable. Acharya noticed, see, sometimes, even while we read, we are all captivated by that. You see something outwardly beautiful, mind goes there. Naturally. So Acharya noticed the disciples being enthralled by the beautiful landscape of Kashmir. Everyone was talking about the gorgeous views. it seemed as if they had temporarily forgotten the infinite beauty of the inner self. To awaken them, Acharya spontaneously sang a song, a hymn, which is Anatma Shri Vigarhanam. When we see somewhere, the ancient nature is, when you see beauty, generally people will say the beauty of Bhagavan. It's God's beauty. But recently, for last at least 1 century, we feel to talk about God is something not fitting to our intellect. So we say nature's beauty. See, nature has no beauty of its own. And what is, after all, nature? What is nature? Is it tree? You have to define nature first of all. Is it mountain? Is it wind? Is it space? Is it fire? Is it water? What is nature? So ultimately, when you inquire deep, we use a word without understanding the implied meaning. We simply say nature, nature, nature. What is it? Is it alive or is it a dead thing? The Sankyas, they call it as pradhanam. The pradhanam, the basic stuff by which creation has happened. And they say Purusha, the Sakshi, the pure divine principle, just enlivens that what you call nature, that basic stuff. And by which it creates. So Purusha and Prakriti, two things are there in Sankhya Siddhanta. But Advaita ultimately swallows both. So Shiva swallows Shakti, Shakti swallows Shiva. You can neither say it is Shakti nor can you say it is Shiva. One devotee was arguing with another devotee, without Shakti there is no Shiva. So they were speaking in English. So he said, in she there is he. SH he. So she contains he. This was the argument. Bhagavan said, that is true. Ultimately they took it to Bhagavan. Bhagavan said, that is true, but he stands alone. Whenever she is there, it is he is inside. So it is not a man or woman. It means what we call as pradhanam, the creating thing, the creative power. When it is creation, there is Shakti. When it is still, it is Shiva. The pure Chaitanya consciousness remains without creation. But even while the creation is happening, it is hidden in it. So, Acharya here wrote a work called Anatma Shri Vigarhanam. Means there is no beauty in the non-self. The beauty that you see in the non-self comes from the Atman, from the self. Once you know that, see, the mind naturally goes to a place where there is beauty. You need not drive the mind there. It will go. That is why Bhagavan tells in Aksharamanamalai, the mind is running here, there, because wherever it sees some beautiful thing, it will go there. So Bhagavan is telling Arunachala, I cannot find fault with my mind. It is searching for beauty. Ur sutru ulam vidadu unai kandu adangida un alagai kaattu en Arunachala. Alaga means beauty. So Bhagavan says, Arunachala, you are my own self. If you reveal your beauty, the mind will never go anywhere. Because once it beholds your beauty. Saundaryottaratopi sundarataram twadvapuhu. As Narayana Bhattadri says to Lord Guru Ayurappa, he says, your form, your beauty is beautiful than beauty. It is more beautiful than beauty itself, because beauty itself as a measure, and the measuring rod of beauty is you. Wherever you manifest, there is beauty. So beauty comes from Ishvara. So when you see beauty in the inner, in the heart, in your real nature, then the mind will not run anywhere. When you see beauty in Ishvara, you will not see beauty anywhere. After that, all will look comparatively nothing. So as you have not seen the beauty of the self, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, they say. Satyam is truth. Shivam is auspiciousness or awareness or peace. Sundaram is beauty. See, when the mind beholds beauty, it goes there. You need not ask it to go there, it will go. To naturally pull it back, there is only one way, something more beautiful should come. Then it will go there. Like that, if you see beauty in Atma, in your own self, always Atma is beautiful. One's own people are beautiful. One's own country is beautiful because it is a reflection of one's own self. Real beauty lies in the self, in the Atma. That is one thing. So where beauty is there, mind will go. So too, where you find protection, security, there also the mind will go. So when you find that real kshemam, that is it, kshemam, security, is in the heart, in the self, then the mind will sit there. Where there is beauty, mind will go. Where there is security, protection, the mind will go. Where there is knowledge, the mind will go there. All the three, when you see in Atma, in the self, Sat, Chit, Anandam. Sat is absolute security because it is existence. It is deathlessness, immortality. When you realize that aspect of the self, one thing is over. Chit is beauty. It is knowledge. And Ananda is Sukham. When you see Sukham, mind will go there. So Satchidanandam. Sat Chit Anandam. So that is the nature of the Atman, the self. So this Acharya spoke in that work Anatma Shri Vigarhanam. Permanence, beauty and happiness can be found only in the self. Infinity must be perceived in Sat, beauty in Chit and joy in Ananda or Bhuma, infinity. Objects appear beautiful only due to the beauty of Chit reflected in them. So one disciple, Chidvilasa, he asked, Lord, I am voicing the doubt of this brahmachari Bharatatirtha. What is the problem if we perceive multiplicity and find happiness and beauty in it? Is it not sufficient that sorrow does not arise? Sometimes that doubt will come. Why should not we see duality? Bhagavad said, my dear child, seeing multiplicity itself is sorrow. Nanatva darshanam, as long as he is Nanatva, separation, Bheda Buddhi is sorrow. Somebody asked Ma Anandamayi Ma, She's a Bengali. So Bengalis always pronounce va, ba all same. No? So somebody asked, Ma, what is Vedanta? She said, Vedanta. Say, Vedanta. Vedanta, in Bengali you can say Vedanta. Formerly when sannyasi was there, he used to make fun. He was in Calcutta for a long period, so he used to tell me, Bhengotram, why are you wandering in the Barondo? He will say, so that is the thing. So So Vedanta is Vedanta. Vedanta means Vedanta. Seeing multiplicity itself is sorrow, and happiness of one who perceives it is transient. Various things you are seeing, the jnanam is not there. When he observes them closely, the beauty and joy all vanish, just like water in mirage. Something you see beautiful from a distance, you go nearby, nothing there. Thus, running all your life, avinayam apanaya Vishnu shamaya vishaya mrga trishnam. As he says, shamaya vishaya mrga trishnam. The deer will be running, they say, in desert, seeing water in a distance. It will run there, no water. Come back, here water. All your life run. Is it not our life like that? You are here and you think joy is there. You go there, no joy there. And you search here, there, everywhere. At last you find that you are joy. Your very nature is joy. It is hidden in your own heart. Then it will appear at another spot. Thus it will be an endless wandering in delusion. Shruti warns that such an individual goes from death to death. She says, Ekadhaivanu drashtavyam. Upanishad says, see that non-dual thing. It must be seen only as one. The self must be known as Eka Rasa Swarupi, of the nature of one, non-dual essence. In other words, the rasa must be found in the self. He who is deluded by rasa in external objects will suffer eventually. It is like consuming a delicious sweet pudding, but suffering later upon finding out that it was poisonous. Happiness, peace, beauty and security exists in the self alone. Everything else is only a reflection. One who knows this remembers the Atman wherever he perceives beauty, wherever he may go and whatever he may see. His mind remains pure and unaffected. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhayaha. Wherever the mind goes, there the mind finds samadhi, because it's all Brahman, it's all Atma only. All of you are for me, all of you are that. So with open eyes it is samadhi. Whatever I am hearing, it is that. So by sound also it is samadhi. Whatever I am smelling, whatever I am touching, it is all that one truth. When that conviction has come, see, in Aksharamanamalai, Bhagavan says, in one song he says, like a sadhaka, he is complaining. Arunachala, through all the senses, objects are invading my mind and disturbing me. It is like thieves entering a house when the owner is not there. Aimbulak Kalvar. Ahattinir puhumbodu Ahattini illayo Arunachala. And in next song, Bhagavan comes back to balance. Uruvanamunnai olittavar varuvar. Un sude idu Arunachala. Arunachala, this is deception. Because you alone exist. You take the form of the objects and then the desire, then the mind, then the body, then me, then the world. Who else can come? Only you exist. Nothing else exists. If that knowledge comes, Vyavahara will come to an end. That is the secret of it. Then Adrishyam Avyavaharyam Agrahyam Alakshanam Achintyam Avyapadeshyam Ekatma Pratyayasaram. The essence, the cream, the taste of one non-dual self. Ekatma Pratyayasaram Prapanchopashamam. When you have that Ekatma Pratyayasaram, the essential experiential knowledge that one Atman alone exists, Prapanchopashamam. Then the Prapancha as Prapancha does not exist. Not that like deep sleep it will disappear. But the world has ceased to exist. That is true renunciation. Nothing to renounce now. What will you renounce? Because when you have found that He alone has become manifested as every form, Tyaga Prapancha Rupasya, this Prapancha Rupa, the form of Prapancha world, is being given up. How? Brahmatmatva Avalokanat, by knowing that it is all Brahman. Tyago hi mahatam pujya. This is the most adorable renunciation. Sadhyo mokshamayo vidhu. Instantaneously the person is free. Because no attachment, no aversion, no desire, no jealousy, no anger, no arrogance, nothing is possible because he is beholding Bhagavan everywhere. This is bhakti, Bhagavati bhakti. Bhagavata says he is a true bhakta because for him everywhere it is all Bhagavan. In a shloka de Uttama Bhakta Esha Bhagavata Uttama Sarva Bhuteshu Yaf Pashyet Bhagavad Bhavamatmanaha Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani Esha Bhagavata Uttama. He is the highest Bhakta because he is seeing the same Bhagavan in every creature, everywhere. So no ragadvesha, no attachment, no aversion, no spardha, asuya, tiraskaraha, sahankaraviyantihi. No competition with anybody, no conflict with anyone, no jealousy, no ignoring another person, and no ego also. Sahankara viyantihi. Everything falls because sarvam brahmatmakam tasya vidyaya atmamanishaya paripashyan uparamet sarvato mukta samshayaha. Sarvam brahmatmakam tasya. Everything is Brahman for him. How? Vidyaya atmamanishaya. By this atmamanisha, this knowledge of the Atman, knowledge of the self. Paripashyan uparame. Thus seeing, he completely becomes free, withdrawn. Sarvataha mukta samshayaha. All, from all corners, all dimensions, all doubts have come to an end. No more doubt. No more doubt about anything. So this is the highest attainment. So this knowledge of the self, when you know that Atma is beauty, wherever the mind goes, there is beauty, there is Atma, there is Ishvara. Knowledge devoid of duality is pure divisionless being, nirvikalpa. One must never forget the self for any reason whatsoever. No difficulty will arise even if one who abides in the self rules a kingdom. Bhagavad Pada says here. But the one who forgets the Atman is a worldly person. Even if he wanders as a mendicant, beware. Jagrata, Jagrata, Jagrata. This is one word which Bhagavan also very much love. To many people Bhagavan told, Jagrata boy, Jagrata. Never forget your real nature, Jagrata. Like a huge rock that remains unmoving even in swift, strong flowing currents. Remain with the firm conviction, I am Brahman. Even when tossed about by the destiny of the body, mind and the senses. Forgetting this truth is indeed death. Pramado mrityuhu. Pramada means forgetting the truth, the self. Even Buddha uses the same word. Pamado machuna padam. In Pali he says, Pramada is the state of mrityu. Actually, Sanatsujatiyam. In Mahabharatam it comes first. Actually, Buddha also many places quotes Sanatsujata, Sanat Kumara. So there, Buddha also has taken it from there. Because in Sanatsujatiyam it comes, Pramadam vai mrityumaham bravimi. I say Pramada is mrityu. Inadvertence, heedlessness, forgetfulness of one's real nature. Forgetfulness of God, you can say. To forget God is death. To remember Bhagavan is Amritatva. So, like a huge rock that remains unmoving even in swift, strong, flowing currents, remain with the firm conviction, I am the Self, I am Brahman. Even when tossed about by the destiny of the body, mind and the senses, forgetting this truth is indeed death. Destiny will have its sway, its force, its power. Things will be happening around. Deeds will be done, but do not forget your real nature. Thus, Bhagavad Pada walked further and they reached Srinagar. The disciples never felt any physical strain while walking along, conversing with Acharya. There was a temple dedicated to Lord Shiva atop a beautiful hillock there. Acharya and group camped there. At that time, Shaivas and Shaktas were very prominent in Srinagar. The Buddhists, forgetting the noble ideals of Lord Buddha and lured by desire for occult powers, were practicing Tantra. That also has happened. Their influence had eclipsed Vedic Dharma. The Kashmiri Shaiva tradition, it is almost, this knowledge of the self is, you cannot completely say it is Advaita, the Siddhanta, but the knowledge of the self is very, very clear there also. It is there. And various sites are there for it. Like Maya is called as Parabrahma Mahishi. So it's very close to Advaita. The Pratyabhijna Darshana, etc. It all came from Kashmir. There, many Shaivites and Shaktas, they came to have a debate with Acharya. And one Shaivite person came. He said, we accept many aspects of the Advaita, but we see that you have no regard for Shakti. People very fast they conclude. Many people call Sankaracharya as Mayavadi. They have given the name Mayavadi. And unthinking, many Advaiti also, they think they are Mayavadis. Actually, they are Brahmavadis. So we don't say there is Maya. There is no Maya in Advaita. They only speak Mayavadi who say, they speak so much about Maya. But Advaita, it is not at all Maya. We say this is Brahman. Because of ignorance, avidya, you see it as world, you see it as man, woman, all these things. It is Ishvara. The Vishnu Sahasranama in the first Nama is Vishwam, Vishwasmai Namaha, Vishnave Namaha. This very Vishwam is Vishnu, but I don't see it as Vishnu because ignorance, avidya. And that avidya is Maya. And the deluding power of Maya, what we say, is also a superimposition in Ishvara. So nothing, ya ma sa maya, it does not exist. And they call Mayavadi. And I was doing research in Bhashya, which all places Bhagavad Pada spoke, no places you will see. They somewhere, hitva maya mayamidam sakalam brahmapadam tvam pravishavididu bhaja govindam, they take and say Mayavadi. No places. In fact, Acharya speaks about Maya. Not that Prapancha is Maya. He says a deluding force which deludes people and takes them away from the truth, from Bhagavad Bhakti, from Jnana. That is Maya. Aghadita ghatana patiyasi Maya. Even after coming to spiritual life, you fight, you have attachment, aversion. That is Maya. Shruti shata nigamanta shodhaganapi ahaha dhanadi nidarshanena bhuyaha kalushayati chatushpadadi abhinnan aghatita gatana patiyasi Maya. Even very, very learned, scholarly people, she just displays some rupee note and they move behind them like puppies. It says Shruti Shata Nigamanta Shodhakanapi Dhanadi Nidarshanena, by showing dhanam or some other thing. Kalushayati, their mind gets polluted, corrupted. Chatushpadadi Abhinnan, they move like cattle, it says. This is Maya. And Maya is Parabrahma Mahishi, she is Shakti, she is only preparing you. Chit Shakti that arises as the primal pulsation in Lord Shiva is not Avidya Rupini. She is one who bestows jnana on the jiva. She allures people to worldly life only to give them joy. It is this same Shakti who blesses the dispassionate seeker with the ultimate enlightenment. The Shaivite person said. Acharya responded, we have absolutely no objection to what you say. But there is both Vidya and Avidya Shakti. In Lalita Sahasranama, two names are there for Divine Mother. Vidya Vidya Rupinyai Namaha. One Nama is Vidya Rupini, another is Avidya Rupini. As long as one is influenced by Avidya Shakti, he is treading the darker path. He will not be able to develop Vairagya or the qualities like the restraint of the senses and mind, even if he regards that Shakti as divine. If Jnana dawns on those endowed with control of mind and senses, total abidance in the self is possible. For those established in the self, Avidya Maya is indeed a divine power. However, seekers must not think in this manner. For the Jnani, Brahmavid, everything is divine. Even Avidya, he will see, oh, that Avidya is also okay. It is divine for him. But a seeker should not take like that. A sadhaka should not take like that. As long as duality is perceived, righteousness and unrighteousness, knowledge and ignorance will all prevail. This is the approach of Shruti. If this is not understood properly, there can be downfall. One must not grant Brahmavidya to those who follow mean and wicked paths, for it will lead to Asura Jnana. The Pravritti Marga will be destroyed, and there will be no righteous and virtuous Grihasthas. This will lead to the extinction of Brahmacharya Ashrama and Sannyasa Ashrama, as it is the purity of the householder that sustains the Brahmachari and Sannyasi. And the householder is pure, they are depending on him. That is why Sarvesham Ashramanam hi Garhastyam Shreshtam Uchyate. The Smritikara says, amongst all the ashramas, Grihastha ashrama is the Shreshta. In the sense, every other ashrama is depending on Grihastha. So the Grihastha ashrama should be very pure. So to keep, because majority are Grihasthas. Even here see, namesake 2 or 3 sannyasis are there, nothing else. All Grihasthas only. Everywhere it's all Grihasthas. So Grihastha ashrama is the base. And from true Grihastha ashrama, true sannyasis come and brahmacharis come, everything come. So to keep the Grihastha ashrama in a disciplined way, you cannot give complete spirituality to a Grihastha. 30%, we have already told that 30% spirituality, 70% worldly life. That is Grihastha ashrama. If this 30% crosses to the boundary of 50% and reaches 60%, the person is already a sannyasi or vanapastha. So, the brilliant discourse and the superhuman radiance of Acharya and his teaching on Pratyabhijna, they all woke up to the truth of Acharya's teaching. As it was the rainy season, Acharya and disciples continued to stay in the Shiva temple atop the hill. It was as if the heavy rains were assessing the endurance of the ascetics. When you move about like this, and Kashmir, that cold and rain, just imagine when we planned our Kashmir trip, first thing that was brought was all covering material. If possible, a bag. Inside you can, what is that bag called? Sleeping bag. The bag has to sleep. So you have to go inside that. So all that is arranged. Nothing is there for them. So heavy rains were assessing the endurance of the ascetics. The mountain ranges would glitter like silver the moment a shaft of sunlight fell upon them. But immediately dark rain clouds would take over and bring a torrential downpour. It was impossible to go outside and walk in the rain. It was extremely cold. Devotees and sadhus built fire here and there to warm themselves. Sudanva had already returned to his land, very safe, along with his large group of men to attend to his kingly duties. The ascetics spent their time in studies and sadhana. Arrangements had been made to provide regular bhiksha for all of them. During this period, Acharya composed a divine poem glorifying the beauty of Mahamaya, the Divine Mother. In order to remove the misconceptions imputed to the Advaitins by Kashmiri people, scholars, the work Saundaryalahari is best known among the hymns composed by Acharya. Lahari means a wave. Lahari means inundation. The inundation of beauty is Saundaryalahari. The inundation of beauty of Divine Mother, she is seen as the world. That Shakti, that is Saundaryalahari. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktah Prabhavitum Na Chedevam Devo Na Kalu Kushalahas Panditum Api Atastvam Aradhyam Harihara Virinchayati Pirapi Pranantum Stotum Va Katham Akrita Punyaha Prabhavati. The beauty of Divine Mother. The entire creation is her beauty. So, there Acharya says everything is Shakti. Right from the mind to the world, everything. Manastvam vyomatvam marudasi marutsaratirasi tvam apaha bhumihi Tvai parinatayam nahi param Tvameva swatmanam parinamaytum vishwavapusha Chidanandakaram Shivayuvati bhavena bibhrishe. The entire creation is you. In fact, when you see that the mind is the manifestation of the divine energy, divine power, divine mother, what will happen to your sadhana? So, Acharya here says, something arises from within us, I. Our problem with this I is, I think that I is I. And here, Acharya says, from Brahman, that Mahamaya, that divine mother, is arising as I. Aho Purushika. That I is not me. That I is her eruption. She is erupting like a volcano from that supreme consciousness as I, proclaiming I. Labdahankara Durgamayai Namaha. As Aham Tattva she arises there. So what happens to our I? We thought at least I have an I. Now it says I do not have a I. So the very I is the first sprout of that primordial divine energy. So the I itself becomes divine, means no problem. I am washed clean of the I. Only Shiva is there. That side is Shiva, this side is Shakti. Where am I? Veli vali ti neer man pala uyirai virivuru bhuda bhautigangal Veli oli unnai andru indru ennin veru yan yarulan vimala. As Bhagavan says, as the space, as the wind, as the fire, as water, as earth, as the mind, as the I, you alone exist. Who am I separate from that, O Arunachala? Again something arises as I. When it arises, put your feet on its head. It means what? Remind me about this jnanam. That is putting his feet. Sharanam pavitram vitatam puranayena putas tarati dushkritani. That pure charanam, which completely cleanses me of all my sins, forgetfulness. That pure feet of the Lord is that jnanam, is charanam. So, the work Saundaryalahari is the best known among the hymns composed by Acharya. Sitting near a pond, Acharya immersed himself in composition, beholding the ethereal beauty of the snow-covered Himalayas. The poet sage was reminded of Haimavati. We have to remember the old story. In Kaladi, in the Divine Mother's presence, Shankara had the divine milk. He remembers that and says, Tavastanyam manye dharanidhara kanye hridayataha. Dharanidhara kanya. Dharanidhara means hill, means Himalayas. It's all Himalayan ranges only. So, he says, you are the divine daughter of Himalayas. Dharanidhara kanye hridayataha. The milk that you bestowed on me has made me the divine poet. Tavastanyam manye dharanidhara kanye hridayataha payaf paravaram parivahati sarasvataiva dayavatya dattam. By compassion you gave me that milk. Dravida Shishuhu Aswadya Tavayat Kavinam Praudhanamajani Kamaniya Kavayita. The poet sage was reminded of Haimavati, the beloved daughter of the mountain, the amazing quality of accepting any feeling of devotion, becoming one with it, and at the same time remaining as crystal clear. Awareness beyond all feelings and emotions was possible only for Acharya, the unparalleled seer. Here Acharya became a perfect devotee of the Divine Mother, as well as a tantric, reforming and purifying the very nature of Tantra. Shakti is the first sprout of individuality that pulsates and arises from the stillness of Shiva. Acharya has described this Shakti as Purushika. Purushika is one who has Paurusha, perfect freedom of will. By her grace, you will have the free will to do sadhana. The will to do immense spiritual effort arises by her grace. Otherwise, the will goes to other places. The will is hers, not mine. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. So, Ichha Shakti comes from her. When she bestows her grace, your Ichha Shakti, your will wakes up to meditate, to put the senses in order, to withdraw the mind, to do bhakti sadhana, to do jnana sadhana, to do yoga sadhana. All this, your attention is being sucked into the current of divine will, indomitable will. So, Shakti is the first sprout of individuality. Acharya describes the form of the divine goddess in these words. Turiya kapitvam duradhigamanisi mamahima. Turiya, you are the fourth dimension, the substratum on which all the states, Jagrat, Swapana, Sushupti, waking, dream and deep sleep happen. You are the couch in which creation happens. Shiva is the couch and Shakti lies in that couch. See, here the Shakta, Shaiva and Vaishnava merge together. There is Anantashayi Amba. You can see Divine Mother lying in Adishesha. Ya vai Uma, Sa vai Vishnu. There is an Upanishad mantra which says Uma is Vishnu and Tasyai Tasmai Namo Namaha. So, to her and to him there is Namaskara. So, Divine Mother is Vishnu and Adishesha is Shiva. Ananta is Shiva. Kanchi Paramacharya says there are only Shiva is white in color, Vishnu is black in color, and there are only two original colors, that is black which sucks everything and white which renounces everything. Two colors, only two colors, black and white, right? Is it not so? Black and white. So black is Vishnu, white is Shiva. And when you burn a paper, printed paper, burn it in fire, it becomes dark, right? If you do not touch it, that paper in dark color will be there, and in darker color the printed material will be there, visible. Is it not? Now you can say Sarvam Neelamayam Patram. Nila means also black. Asitam, Krishna. Sarvam Krishnamayam. Now you can say that the entire thing is black and filled with black, and the forms are also black. Such a state where the creation is visible and all names and forms are visible, but you know everything is that. That is why we say Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. You will not hear anywhere Sarvam Shivamayam Jagat. No. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat, because it's Shakti. All names and forms are visible, plurality is visible, but you know it is all essentially one. Now, what did we say? Two colors, right? Black and white. Now you are going to touch that newspaper. If you touch that, it will just become dust, white dust. Now what happens? Black becomes white. No form, no printed material, no name or form. You cannot say Sarvam Sitavarnam, Shvetavarnam. No. Sarvam Shivamayam not there. Shivam alone. No Shivamayam. It is mere Shivam. Mere existence, mere consciousness, no name, no form, no creation, nothing visible, nothing there. It is pure Nirvikalpa Chit. So when Shakti comes, Kali, she is black in color. All creation is visible. When creation is dissolved, only the Chaitanya is there, pure consciousness is there, nothing. It is Shivam. Shivakare manje Parama Shiva Paryanga Nilayam Bhajanti Tvam Dhanyah Katijana Chidanandalaharim. When you behold that entire creation is a dance in the substratum of Shiva, a strange Chidananda Lahari arises. Acharya says, the bliss, the inundation of Chidananda comes there. She herself is the Akhandakara Vritti, undivided awareness that undulates within the heart of a jnani. So this is the subject matter here. We will continue this tomorrow.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva,
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva.